Have you ever wondered how all the incredible, complex life on this planet, from the smallest flower to the biggest whale, starts from just a single cell? Well, how does one cell become trillions? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at tissues, the master architects that literally build our world. I mean, it's a huge question, right? It's all about scale. If you're a single cell, life's pretty simple. But when you're talking about trillions of cells, how do you get them all working together to build something as ridiculously complex as a human brain or the massive root system of a sequoia tree? Okay, think of it like this. An amoeba, it's basically a one-person business. It has to do everything itself. Find food, move around, take out the trash, the whole shebang. But in a complex organism like you and me, it's way more like a massive, bustling city. You've got cells with very specific jobs, a real division of labor. And that division of labor, that's the absolute key. That's the elegant solution that evolution came up with to build complexity. Instead of every cell for itself, you have these specialized teams, all working in harmony. And those teams, well, that's what we call tissues. So, what is a tissue really? Forget the textbook definition for a second. Just picture them as the special forces of the biological world. They are highly trained, super efficient crews of cells, all grouped together to pull off one specific vital mission. And these specialized teams are the unsung heroes working inside us all the time. You've got the movers, the muscle tissues that power every single step you take. You've got the messengers, the nerve tissues firing off signals faster than you can blink. And it's not just animals. In plants, you've got delivery experts like phloem, making sure every leaf and root gets the food it needs to grow. Okay, now here is where it gets really, really cool. You look at a plant and you look at an animal, they couldn't be more different, right? So what about their tissues? Are their fundamental building blocks just as different as they are? The answer is a huge yes, and it all comes down to a very simple fact about how they live their lives. It all starts with this one profound difference. Plants are stationary. They're literally rooted to the spot. Animals, on the other hand, we're always on the move, right? We're searching for food, for partners, for shelter. This one tiny difference in lifestyle creates a massive ripple effect that changes their biology, especially their tissues. For instance, to stand up straight and fight gravity, plants came up with an absolutely brilliant energy-saving trick. A lot of their support structure is built out of dead cells. It's like building a skyscraper out of bricks that don't need to eat. Animals can't do that. Since we're so active, our tissues have to be living, constantly burning energy to keep us going. And their growth strategies, totally different. An animal kind of grows like a balloon, expanding more or less evenly in all directions. But a plant? A plant is more like a construction site that never closes. Growth only happens in very specific zones, constantly adding new bits and pieces while the old parts of the structure just stay put. So let's dive into that a bit. How do plants pull off this amazing feat of engineering? Well, it all boils down to two distinct types of tissues, two teams, the growers and the specialists. The growers are the ones making all the new cells, and the specialists are the ones that take on all the different jobs. All right, let's meet Team Grower. Their official name is meristematic tissue, but I just think of them as the plant's fountain of youth cells. Their only job, their entire purpose, is to just keep dividing and making new cells. That's what fuels the plant's constant growth. And these little growth factories are placed in really strategic spots. You'll find them at the very tips of the roots and stems, always pushing the plant higher into the sky and deeper into the soil. You'll also find them on the sides, which is what allows a trunk to get wider and stronger over time. They're even at the base of leaves and stems, giving them room to grow. But what happens to all those brand new cells? Well, they don't stay in the fountain of youth forever. They graduate and they join Team Specialist. These are the permanent tissues. They basically trade in their ability to keep dividing for a specific lifelong career. And this whole process of a grower cell transforming into a specialist cell, that has a name. It's called differentiation. It's how the plant creates its diverse workforce, making sure each cell is perfectly designed for its unique job. It's a secret to how a plant can have soft flower petals and a hard woody stem all at the same time. So let's meet a few of these specialists. First up, you've got parenchyma cells. Think of these as the plant's pantry. They're living cells with thin walls, and their main job is to store food. Then you have collenchyma. These are like the plant's yoga instructors. They provide flexible support so stems can bend in the wind without snapping. And finally, you have sclerenchyma. These are the bodyguards.
They're dead cells with super thick walls, and they provide hardness and strength. And speaking of hardness, the perfect example of sclerenchyma in action is the husk of a coconut. You know how tough and fibrous that stuff is? That is all sclerenchyma tissue. It's basically a natural fortress of dead, thick-walled cells built to protect the seed inside. It's an incredible display of this tissue's strength. So there you have it. The secret to how a plant is built is this beautiful, elegant system. You have the growers providing all the raw materials, the new cells, and then the specialists come in and turn those materials into everything a plant needs, from roots to leaves to flowers. It's just a perfect symphony of cellular teamwork. And really, that's the big takeaway here. Tissues are the absolute heroes of the biological world. They are the critical bridge that connects the tiny, microscopic world of a single cell to the huge, complex organisms that we see all around us. Without tissues, complex life as we know it, well, it just couldn't exist. So we've established that tissues are the specialized teams that build organisms. But here's a final thought. What happens when these different teams start working together? What do you get when you combine the support team and the transport team and the food storage team into one bigger structure? Well, that's when the real magic begins. That's when you start building organs.